Dana and Aaron back here with the build.
Whoa!
All the parts are here.
Yeah.
Woo!
We're gonna do a fade out, so then the boxes magically open when we fade back in. So see you then. Okay, so well, there's the fade out, and actually we got rid of the boxes magically. I don't know. They're here in this nice symmetrical order. I'm gonna start from left to right here, or however you're watching the video.
Yeah,
My
You
perspective.
can hold them up so that you can see them on
Left
the
to
camera.
right. But this is the nice motherboard. It's pretty simple. It's a B550 MK Micro, but it'll get the job done. We also got the memory. This is the SSD. It's 1 terabyte, which is really nice. DDR4 memory, 32 gigabytes RAM. It's pretty sweet. We have a Ryzen 5 5600. I think it's just normal 5600. So that's good. And so this power supply, if you notice, it's a little different. It doesn't have the RGB that I ordered because I didn't order. So we got another one.
It got canceled.
Yeah, I got
The
canceled.
vendor canceled it. It was Newegg. We ordered it through Newegg, but it was a different vendor
Right.
for that particular component. And I got a notification that it got canceled. And I tried to order the same one again, but I couldn't find it in stock.
Yeah.
But they did have this one.
Yeah.
It was a little more money, but
They
it
can't see that.
does not have RGB. Still a
is okay.
750 watt. So,
750 watt,
Full
80
modular.
plus gold.
Yep.
It's good.
Alright.
So
Let's see if we can zoom in on the tower in the back there.
oh yeah. Oh wait, I didn't go over this.
Oh.
I didn't go over
Oh,
the Purdy.
yes, I'm sorry. Ooh, there you go, right
Purdy.
there.
Oh yeah. It's really nice. So this is a CC600 XT, which is good. It's got 8 gigabytes memory, 1080p. That's pretty sweet. So yeah.
RX, huh?
And-
RX 6600.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
RX 6600. In my opinion, I don't think you really need 4K because you can't tell in the heat of the moment. So who cares? But yeah, and then we have our beautiful tower. It's gonna be all colorful when we plug it in and get everything running. So I'm excited.
We're going to jump right into the build, but I do want to
Yep.
note something, and that is anytime you're preparing for your build, make sure that you've taken time to go through all your components and actually make sure that they're correct.
Right.
You know, it's somewhat common to get the wrong component shipped or to have something damaged. Like if the case was damaged during shipping and
Right.
before we open the box, we would take a picture of that and make sure that, you know, we're going to be able to return it if, you know, something's wrong with it or whatever. So anyways, just walk through all your components before you actually start the build.
And also, if you get a monitor, make sure there's no dead pixels before you start like using it long term, because then the warranty stuff and you
True.
don't want to mess with that. So
True
you want to make
story.
sure.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to open up the power supply and the motherboard first, and we're going to get those installed in the case, and then we'll work through the rest of the components from there one at a time.
And here you have it. It's a nice
Ta-da!
PCU.
Cool.
Yeah. Just
All
want
right.
to make sure there's nothing in the
Cool. Now,
parts there.
a traditional power supply. This is, you know, a Thermaltake. This is a full modular, so that means every cable ends up connecting into the back here. Sometimes you find some power supplies that are not fully modular, they're semi-modular, and those ones might have a set of cables like the power cables or something like that coming out directly out of the power supply. This one has all of the cables plug in to the power supply, which makes it really nice for cable management. It means that you can hide your cables easier, and you can also get different length cables if you need to support different lengths in your system. So this makes it great, flexible, easy to build, a nice clean looking system on the inside, which is what you want. You don't want
Right.
just cables hanging everywhere, like my very first computer. All right.
Okay. So we got that. Now we
Okay.
have the motherboard here. It's a nice little package. Nice. Let's see. I don't know where that plugs in. I'm sure you do.
This is a SATA connector, so this will be for hooking up a drive.
Ah. Like external drive or just
Go hard drive.
okay.
And you always want to be careful before you, is this the static wrap and then the board's inside? Yeah. So we'll leave the static wrap on here for now. The static
Okay.
bag just helps protect until it's time to actually install.
Oh, okay.
And one thing you want to do is before you install this, you want to get it open and ready to install. But you always want to make sure that you're not carrying a static charge in your body and touching a component on here and accidentally transmit a charge onto something and fry it. So we're going to ground ourselves on the case. We're going to touch the case and ground ourselves on the case before working with static sensitive components. And also, this is the face plate. This is a face plate that will replace or pop in on the back of the computer tower case. So we'll use that, and that will make the case align with all of these holes in the back, all of these ports to access those. So it's a nice, neat cover. Oh, you're all about the peeling off of the special plastic stuff here, right? Okay, that's okay. We can wait to the end.
Do you want to do it now?
We can wait to the end.
I think we should at least get this out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
We are going to take these.
Screw these off.
You can take those off. Yep. We're going to take off both the sides of the case. So there's a front side where the glass is here, but there's also a rear panel here, which will allow us to hide all of those cables. So we're going to take both of these sides off, and then we're going to work through the whole body of the computer tower. There's only one tool you really need when you're building a computer, and that is a Phillips screwdriver. We're just a normal size, not like a little. It's funny, those little computer repair kits from like iFixit, they're great repair kits, but they don't have like normal size. I say normal size, meaning like a traditional household Phillips head screwdriver. Like I don't know what that is, a number 2 or something like that. So you just want a normal sized. You don't want to be trying to do this with one of those little dinky little computer screwdrivers.
Oh.
That's a little grommet in there to protect.
Okay.
You got that? Now inside the case, you also going to find typically somewhere, like sometimes in the power supply bay, or in this case, it's up in here. You're going to find a little goodie pack, and that goodie pack is going to have some little connectors and different things that we're going to need as we do the build. So just make sure you don't just, I don't need that, and throw it away. So you can get that guy out right there.
So yeah, this goodie bag, it's got all sorts of stuff. You got, screws and all the stuff you need. Some wires, zip ties. So.
And we're going to stand this back up, and then we're going to remove the back side of the case. And the reason I have this sitting on these foam pieces from the case, and that's just to not scratch up the table. But if you had a workbench, you wouldn't necessarily need to do that or be worried about it. But I don't want to scratch the table, so.
There we go.
This case was what? 50 bucks?
No, it was probably more like 80.
Oh, was it?
It might have been 50. I don't know.
This is going, it's got a little lip.
Okay.
There's a little lip here.
Yeah.
Which you just kind of pull. And then that pops off. So we've got a lot of cables hanging loose here in the back. A lot. Has a little tab covering up where the power plugs into it. I'm just going to take that off. Then there's going to be 4 screws that go in to the back of the computer from the back. And it's hard to see here probably, but there's 4 screw holes. And those will only line up, those should only line up in one way on the back of the computer. So we have this bay open right here. This should only fit in one direction with all of those screw holes lining up. So it's either going to go like this or it's going to go like this. So I will let you, I know already which way it goes, but I'm going to let you figure that out. You can slide it right in there and you can figure out which.
Probably need that on there, right? Cue the
fine.
Jeopardy music.
That's fine.
I assume, well, the fan has to go somewhere, and there's conveniently a gap for airflow right
Okay.
there. So, I think it goes, let's see.
And then you're gonna pull the whole thing toward you. Yep. And
Whoa, looky there.
you got all four lined up?
Thanks.
When you're working with these little screws that go into like sheet metal style material, you don't want to crank on them. You're just going to strip them out. You only want them to be snug with the screwdriver. Aaron built my other computer, and he's building this one for himself. So that's cool. And last time I helped him a little bit more than this, but this is his build. This is all him. Go, Aaron.
Wow.
I'm your cheerleader. I'm gonna get some pom-poms.
Oh, please don't. Motherboard, right?
Okay, now we have it back on here. Just, and again, that's just so I don't scratch a table.
Right.
And this bracket is going to go into the back of the case right here, and it's just going to pop into that from the inside. And you're going to pop that in place with any words on the back being upright.
Okay.
Okay.
So, very nice.
This will have a few little metal tabs in there that will hold it in place, and you want to make sure that they all snap in place. You don't want any of those loose.
Is it good?
So just work your finger around, and you're going to feel that pop into place. So like put pressure back there. I can tell it's not popped into place. Push hard.
Oh,
There you go.
that's not. Let's
And put one finger up here on the other side of the case so it doesn't flex. There you go.
What's that?
And you're going to look to see, you should be able to feel those metal tabs all the way around. And I do. Okay,
Sweet.
now for the motherboard.
Woo!
You're going to ground yourself off from the case, and then you're going to take the motherboard and put it in place. Now, one thing you want to do before you get started going too crazy is you want to make sure that you have should be little mounting screws inside the case. If there's not, then you need to put those little mounting screws in. They're going to be a goldish looking typically. They might be black, they might be silver, but a lot of times I've seen them go like a gold colored, like a brass. And you're going to make sure that those line up with the holes on your motherboard before you go too crazy here. I know my face is cut off, but what's important is what's happening out here.
Okay.
So if you take the motherboard and you kind of hold it like this, where it's going to go in the case, then what you're going to do is you're going to lower it in, and you're going in the bag, it's fine, and you're going to lower it in, and you're going to see where those are and if they line. This also has, I'm not going to try and move the camera so that you can see it, but it says on the inside of this, it's got a little guide. It says 1 is a ITX. So if the hole is marked with the number 1, then, and you've got an ITX motherboard, then you want it there. It says 1 plus 2 is micro ATX. So if it's got a 1 and or 2, then you're going to put it, make sure that those little mounting screws are there, those mounts. And then it says 1 plus 2 plus 3 is ATX. Okay, we had a little snag with a couple of the holes trying to get the mounts in, but we got it. And we had to manhandle them a little bit in order to get them in there. So we have the motherboard unpackaged already, ready to go in. So go ahead and ground yourself on the case and then grab that and put it in place. I'm just holding this cable up out of the way because it just keeps dropping in there. That's why.
Ta-da. There you go, snug as a bug.
Very cool.
Sweet.
Okay,
I
so
just need to.
now your motherboard, your case bag should have a bunch of little screws. There's two kinds of screws in there with a couple different threads. So we want to make sure that we actually have the right one, and those are the right ones.
Sweet.
And I'm going to take the screw out because this is completely your build. There you go. So again, we don't crank them down, we just make them snug.
Nice, snug. Okay, so we're gonna put in the SSD here. I need to get some scissors.
Now the reason we're putting the SSD in before the CPU and RAM and the rest of that is where the CPU cooler comes on this might make it a little bit tighter to work in this particular space for the SSD, so we're just going to put that in first. Okay, the next step is the RAM. Vengeance, what is it?
It's Vengeance LPX.
Because when you push the RAM all the way in, it should snap. Okay, so go ahead and do the other one.
I pushed it on the right side though. It didn't seem to.
Okay, we want to go first and third slot.
First and third.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we got the RAM in. We're gonna do the CPU next. What are you talking about?
Okay, we installed the SSD, we installed the RAM. We installed the RAM in the first and third slot. Usually use pairs that way. Now we're getting ready to install the CPU. And there's a little lever that Aaron just pulled up for the CPU. And we're going to put the CPU first, and then we'll go to the fan.
Yeah, we'll save that for later.
CPU has a little mark, an indicator of which pin is number 1. And that is indicated on the CPU with this little tiny marking here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's a little tiny triangle on one of the corners. And when you look at the socket, you're going to see one corner of the socket that looks different.
Right.
And so that is where the 1 pin goes.
So
Which one looks different?
That one right there.
Okay. So you should be able to take the CPU, put it in there, and it should just naturally fall into place.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to force it. Yep. So what you're going to do is you're just going to apply a little bit of pressure to the top of the CPU and then put the lever down in the locking position. It's good to have clean hands when you're working on a computer. You don't want like oily grease and stuff like that on there. It looks like everything's fine. We can always take a little something and wipe it if we're concerned about anything, but it looks good to me.
On the bottom of it.
Yeah, so the thermal grease, we're just going to use what's on the heatsink already that came with this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know a lot of people, there's a lot of like, well, I'd only use Arctic Silver or whatever, or I'd only use this kind of thermal grease.
I mean,
we're not going to be overclocking, so we don't really have to worry about that aspect of it.
right.
And if this is what came with it from the manufacturer, then we shouldn't, we should be covered as far as warranty and all of that goes.
Right.
Okay, so this has these four screws on here, but we can also see that there's two brackets in the motherboard that are already attached to the motherboard that we need to remove. So we're going to take out those brackets first. Okay, when you remove those other brackets, where are they? When you move those two brackets, I took a picture of them so I could show you, but when you remove these brackets, this plate will drop out of the back of the motherboard. That's okay. You're just going to hold that in place while you get the mounting started, and then it will hold it in place, and then you can tighten up the rest of the screws. When we do the screws on here, when we start to tighten this up inside here, what we're going to do is tighten up one corner, then we're going to go opposite, and we're just going to kind of get everything tightened in place, and then we're going to gradually tighten up all the screws. We're not going to crank down any one screw and then crank down another one,
Right.
But we can make these pretty snug because there's a fail-safe in here. It's not going to let you tighten beyond a certain limit, or shouldn't. So we're going to put this, I'm going to hold this back there, and then
Put it that way.
There you
I don't
go.
think it really matters what.
Now, this is going to plug into where on the motherboard? System fan, you can plug that in here, and you can leave that little zip tie on there. That's perfect. It's all right back here. We're gonna
Oh,
do
it's
the wires for the motherboard, and I'll turn this around for a second and show you.
It's a little bit of a mess.
So this is a little bit of a mess in the back of the computer.
Oh yeah, you got
We don't
that.
care too much. I mean, it's nice to tidy this up, but we don't care too much. This is not going to be seen. And sometimes you just got to figure out how to make stuff fit. So we're not going to be too concerned. But what we are going to do is we're going to pass through here, these slots. We're going to pass through what we need so that we can hook up all of these little connectors on top. So we got the power button, the reset button, or it's not reset anymore.
LED
is it?
lights.
LED.
Yeah, that's reset. You have USB, headphones, microphones, USB, you know, all that
All
fun
that
jazz.
jazz. We want all that stuff to work.
Yes.
So we're going to turn it back around. We're going to feed these through, and going to plug them in.
I don't know. Let's see.
All right. So why don't I show you where these are going to go, and you can wire them through, and you can even wire them through here if you
So
want
this
to.
is USB 3.0.
So you got a USB.
3.2. That's a 3.2.
So no, that's fine. It should
Oh.
mount. It should fit on there. So where do you want that to come through? Do you want that to come through here? Do you want that to come through right here? How long is it? And
The wire is pretty.
pretty long.
Pretty.
So do you want all of that wire exposed in the case, or would you just like from here to here? That's
we
where
can
I'm.
just do it like right through there.
Yeah,
Like
that might be.
nice.
I think that's a better choice.
Yeah, and then there's a little divot on the top.
Ta-da! Hey! Yay!
Okay.
All right. What do you got next?
We can do a lot of these. Let's see. I don't know what this is for. It says USB. Normal USB.
So the USB one right
Mhm.
there.
Great. And so yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it all fits like a puzzle. You see, if you can see, one is kind of covered up. That's so you put it in the right way. You see, for USB 1, it is the same. So there isn't a pin there, so I can plug it in. Nice and easy. Okay. Or not. The fun ones.
You want to do the fun ones?
Yeah. So this is LED, it says. PLED, power LED. Oh, wait, okay. Power switch reset.
You do have another easy one there, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah.
your audio all the way down there.
Oh, yeah, we should do that one. I guess we could do all the easy ones first.
Yep.
Okay,
You
so
want to do
these.
these funsy onesies?
Oh, the fun ones.
There should be more than that. Is there more?
Alright.
Where are these?
So those. Into the arm, into the arm. When you sneeze, you don't want to sneeze into your hand. That's disgusting. You go to shake somebody's hand.
After you're building your computer and you sneezed all over your fingers.
You know, great.
All right, there you go.
That's it.
Take your phone, take a picture of that jumper block.
You can use.
If you can,
Yeah. If you get it to work.
and that will give you a great way to reference everything.
Right.
So power LED, your positives are going to be indicated with a little triangle. So power LED, do you see a PW? Power LED plus and minus?
Power LED plus, power LED minus. Yes.
So
sir.
power LED plus is the first, the top left. Power left minus is going to be the third from that one. So you're going to have that one, a blank one, and then
Nice thing about these cables too, if they're ribbon cables, you can like kind of tear them apart so you can have nice room, so you're not dealing with stiff wires. But there's no other. Oh wait, no. I see what you mean. There's power LED here.
yeah. So go to power LED plus. After the gap, there's power LED plus, and then go over 2 from that is minus.
So on the end, and then oh, I don't want to tear that one out. Yeah, this part is tedious, but it's not insanely difficult.
Do you want to, while you're able,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to get a zip tie here? All right, Aaron is actually removing the power supply because it makes it a lot easier for getting the connectors connected on this particular case because of the way that the slots, there's some drive slots back here. So without taking all of that apart, it's easier to get all of our modular plugs into the PSU, which is right here. And all of those plugs are in the back here, and it's kind of tight. So we're going to just unscrew this. We're going to slide it out. We're going to get those plugs in place. Then we're going to slide it back in place and plug it in. That's one of the nice things about these modular supplies. It just gives you a lot of flexibility. Okay, we're going to start connecting the cables here that we know we need. So we know we need some SATA power because we have, where is it? This needs it. Where is it? The one you had, oh, right here.
Yeah, that one.
This one needs it. So this is the RGB, it looks like.
Yeah.
So we're going to, we know we have to have SATA. So SATA power. So he's going to connect a cable that gives us a bunch of SATA power connectors.
CPU here.
Okay, so basically we don't want to take all of these cables and plug them in. We just want to plug in what we need. Again, nice thing about a modular power supply is you don't have a lot of extra wires hanging around in your computer. So here is your motherboard.
Oh, this is the motherboard.
Go ahead. It will pop in place.
It will? Or won't?
Yeah, it will.
Okay. And so that's the motherboard. We have that all ready to go.
Let's see if there's anything else we need.
PCIe.
We need an ATX 12 volt on the motherboard. Now, there is one more thing we have to pay attention to, and that is the graphics card probably has a connector on it, and it's probably going to be extra power going to it.
Yeah.
So go ahead and open up the graphics card and find out if that needs it as well. Okay, we looked at the graphics card,
Graphics card.
and
so actually it doesn't need a super high voltage evidently. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna plug in another CPU bit here. I think.
CPU PCIe.
Yeah. So I screwed in the power supply, and that's all good. And now we just need to plug in all the wires. All the wires are in the back, so we just need to plug those in. So this is CPU.
All right, ready to put in your graphics card?
Ooh, sure. And you guys haven't seen the graphics card yet. Industrial plastic.
All right, now which ones do you have to take out is the question, right? So you're gonna hold this up. And you're gonna figure out which ones you have to take out. And it looks like you have to take out these two, the top. It looks like the very top two. Now your graphics card's got a little cover. Right there, you're gonna take that cover off. Okay.
But then we have to screw.
And that one is going to be. Is that where it was?
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Okay, so
Now we need to plug in that.
now I need power for that, which I will pass through to you.
We're at the home stretch now. Just trying to figure out how this needs to fit. So, want to turn it on?
No?
No, we still need the motherboard, right?
Yeah, you still need your motherboard power, right?
Mm-hmm. Just need to turn it like that. Like so. And look at that. Ain't it pretty? Okay, so we got the PC, and this is first time turning it on. If you're wondering why this is still on, it's because we haven't torn it off yet, and because we don't need to, because the fans are blow that way. But anyway, to hold it.
Hmm. Is there a power switch in the back on the power supply?
Ah, you know. You know. Right. Oh.
We have
We
power.
have power. Let's see if we have input here.
If we get a post beep, that's what we really want. Oh, and actually, I don't know if it's got a sound, anything to generate sound on it, but
Oh yeah, we didn't plug the speaker in.
that's okay. Did it come with a speaker?
And
Oh, he got post. He got post on the first try. Look, people, that is big. Power on self-test. First time. If you can pass that, oh my goodness. Big hardware futures for you, Aaron. Big hardware futures. This is the second time he's built a computer and got post first try, which, the teacher is pretty, that's awesome. You would have to hold it down, but that's okay. What's your text telling you here?
so, new CPU installed. Press Y to reset. If you have BitLocker encryption enabled, the system will not boot without a recovery key.
TPM is a security module that's built in on a lot of motherboards now. So it says press Y to reset it. We do not have BitLocker or encryption enabled.
Right.
So you can say yes to reset it. And it's not going to actually boot. It should say something like missing operating system or something now, because it's going to try and find something to boot from and shouldn't be able to find anything.
Okay.
And that's okay. I've got the key building right now to USB key, USB stick. All right. It did not find. This is good. This is good. This is great. Love it.
Got it.
Woo! Thumbs up.
Yay.
Okay, we're just going to leave it on this screen for a minute, let that finish building out the key, and then we'll come back and try to install Windows 11.
Whoa. Okay, so we got Windows 11 90-day trial on this flash drive. Down a little bit, sorry. 9-day trial for a Windows 11 Pro on this flash drive. And I'm going to put it in USB 3.0. You think that's a good idea? All right.
Give it a shot.
8. Press the key. B. Reboot. Oh, it says reboot and select proper boot device.
Okay, go ahead and watch for like a F10 or F12 or F2 or something like that. Oh, actually it looks like it's booting from the...
Hey!
Yay!
Okay, language sort English, keyboard, yes.
Yep.
This is really cool. Wow. I know a loading screen may not seem like much, but I waited a whole week. That's a long time. It's exciting. 42, 45, 50. You know, the PC is pretty quiet.
Time to do your peel off. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Show it again.
Look at that. Ain't that pretty? I think that's pretty. That's so nice. It's beautiful. Alright, so we've got the PC ready and installed. We moved it. Still, okay. We moved it and I downloaded Steam first. And then just got some games on here that I had previously. And then Epic Games is downloading some stuff right now. But the one game I've tried so far, or actually two, I've tried Halo Infinite and Century Age of Ashes. They're both free to play. But Halo Infinite, the loading screen was really smooth. If you've ever played it, like it starts with like a really, you know, geometrical, like it has like mountains and stuff, like a loading screen. So on my other computer that wasn't great, but it worked fine here. Gameplay is great. 60 FPS. I could probably make it more than that if I wanted to, but I'd probably have to turn the graphics down. But yeah, it's going really well.